It's not clickbait. This one app will let you make a podcast for free on your smartphone. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com, helping you create something awesome today. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Anchor FM, and I'm going to talk about how you can use it to make a free podcast using just your smartphone. As a creative entrepreneur, I constantly stress the importance of building your personal brand, putting online content out there, and engaging with people in social media. And there are a lot of great tools that can help you do that. Some of them are really expensive gear that I like to review here on the channel, but there are also great budget and free solutions out there for just about anything you want to do, whether it's online video or audio in the form of a podcast, pretty much everything. And a lot of it can be done with just your smartphone if you know what apps and platforms to use. Anchor FM is a really cool platform, and I've actually been an early adopter of this probably a year ago when Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about it and it just started up. But at the time, it was new and the interface was a little bit harder to navigate, but they've since really done an excellent job. The UI and UX design is better. I think of this as the Snapchat of audio at this point. And so it's a great tool for you to be able to start competing in an arena that's not as saturated as YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat, and you can break out here. And it's a great platform because audio is passive engagement. The reason that I keep stressing podcast is because when you sit down and you watch a YouTube video like this, you kind of have to commit, right? If you're gonna read an article, you have to commit. Those are things called lean in content, and television is lean back content, right? But podcast, you put in your earbuds and it's passive. You could be working, jogging, flying, driving, and you could still enjoy the content. So I think that audio really should be part of your overall content strategy if you're building your personal brand or if you're doing a business. I think that audio matters, and Anchor is a good way to get into the audio game really easily, and it's because the feature set is, again, I think it's the Snapchat of audio. The way that Anchor set things up is that whatever audio that you decide to record, you can go ahead and you can distribute that not only in other social media platforms, but right now they're pushing it to Apple's iTunes platform and to the Google Play Store in terms of you wanting to have a podcast listening experience. But there's so many great features about this that are different than a traditional podcast. For me, it would be very hard to have people call into the show, and that's something that Anchor provides. They have this great call-in feature, and I can go ahead and get questions from you guys as my audience and feature you in the podcast instead of me having to just do a single interview. But if I did want to do an interview, I can call anyone in my phone book. I can call any one of my contacts, and I can go ahead and bring them as an interview, record it, and I can go ahead and put that into the show. And I think that is amazing. You can do a whole interview. In fact, Sarah Dietschy did an interview with the founder of Anchor, and I thought it was a really cool interview, and it was just something different, and it was a different experience, and it didn't require a lot of fancy audio equipment to do that. Sarah Dietschy is actually one of the stations that I listen to on Anchor, along with Shan Boody and Gary Vaynerchuk. And I just really think that there's a lot of interesting, unique, different content that's coming out here. Star Wars Explained is doing stuff in here, which you guys know how big a fan I am. So, there is just a lot of opportunity here for you as a content creator, but also as someone who just wants to enjoy something different than a traditional podcast. People are doing creative stuff in this platform, and that's why I like new platforms. I like new platforms and new technology because they challenge us and they let us get something different as consumers too. In fact, even though I'm doing the Create Something Awesome Today podcast, and I put that pretty much in all the platforms, I started a different show called Ask for Awesome here in Anchor, and part of the reason was that I wanted a conversation. In the same way that I'm doing my vlogs, I'm doing Creative Thoughts, and I want you guys heavily engaged in the comments there, I wanted to do something that wasn't as educationally based. I wanted to do something much more community-based, hub content, and so this is a great way for you guys to go ahead and go to my Anchor station. I'll link it down below, and you guys can ask me whatever you want in audio, and I can go ahead and feature it in that show. And here's the other cool part. I can actually download the archives of these audio, and I can actually put them into something else. So if I wanted to start incorporating some of these call-ins into my main show and then go deeper, or use that as the prompt for something in my other show, or even bring it here into the YouTube channel in some way, then I think that's a really good platform for just doing more things with your content and just expanding. The other cool thing is that you can put background music into this without having to be an editor. And that's something that I think a lot of people are gonna find interesting and are gonna wanna make use of, because one of the big challenges when it comes to doing anything like this, when it comes to creating content, is the fact that you have to edit it. That's why people like Instagram, that's why people like Snapchat, that's why people like live streaming on their phone, is because it cuts out the process of what you have to go through to get a finished product. It just cuts all that stuff out of the equation. You can actually just execute. So for all of you who've been hesitating to do a podcast, for all of you who have wanted to experiment with audio content, or it kind of informally can let you be a DJ too with the music features in here, I just think that it is a very interesting space to play in, and they're looking at monetizing this. They're looking at monetizing this, so in the same way that we managed to make money creating content here on YouTube, we'll have an audio platform native to our phone where we can actually create monetized content, and that's something different. I want more of these online creation platforms to make it easier for creators to make an income, make a living on them, because that's something we don't have in the other platforms. You have to do sponsor deals if you're in Snapchat or Instagram. There's not a way for you to actively make money there. Facebook, there's not an active way for you to make money right now unless you go outside the platform. So going ahead and putting some kind of monetization feature in there, I think that's going to be killer, and I think that's the next step. If you want to make a podcast with Anchor, it's actually really straightforward, probably the most straightforward process for this I've seen. You go ahead and you record whatever it is that you want to make in terms of your audio, and then you can assemble those pieces of audio, including your call-ins, your background music, everything, into an episode, and then that gets distributed as an episode for your podcast, and that's going to go to Apple and it's going to go to iTunes. It's actually really simple and it's easy to walk through. It literally took me less than 5 minutes to get this thing up and running. You can go ahead and use a phone or image from your photo library. You can make something in Canva, save that to your phone and upload it, and you're off to the races and you have a functioning podcast. It does take a few days for that to get approved, but once it does, that's it. You're done. And you've got a podcast in syndication, and every time you put out a new episode, there it is. Overall, I think Anchor is one of the better user interfaces and experience that I've seen. Initially, when it was in beta, it was literally one of the more clunkier interfaces I've ever seen. They've come a long way, and so I really appreciate that, because part of the reason that I prefer Instagram and Instagram stories to Snapchat is specifically the UI and UX design. I've actually been thinking about making videos critiquing the design of different social media platforms. Let me know if that's a video you're interested in me making. Also, I think that I'm going to add another video to this that will be a complete tutorial on how to use Anchor itself using all the features. So definitely make sure you're subscribed and staying tuned for that. In the comments section, let me know, do you guys have a podcast yet, and where are you putting your podcast? Are you putting your podcast on YouTube? Are you putting it in SoundCloud and iTunes? Where are you putting your podcast, or where are you thinking about putting your podcast, and why? I'd really love some feedback on that. I want to do some more videos specifically around podcasting and audio content, because I think it's going to become more and more important as time goes on, and that's something I'd love to have a conversation with you guys about. Big shout out to Mike and the Anchor team for being a partner with me, and also for having me as a featured station on the Anchor platform. I think that's just really cool to be a featured station there. So thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate that, and I love that you guys are supporting what I'm doing with my show. For the rest of you guys, I will link down below. You guys can check out my show over on Anchor. It's called Ask for Awesome, and it is a call-in show. So you guys feel free to ask me pretty much whatever you want. It's a much more casual show than I do on this channel. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today with your smartphone. It really is almost all you need. Take care.